All right. Here we go. Let's have a real speech, shall we? Oh, my family. Boy, it's an interesting thing for you to be coming across my path here at this stage in your creative careers, as I myself am honored to give this closing speech being a 5-year-in self-taught artist. So in that 5 years of being self-taught, I kind of have to get the experience, I kind of have to get the knowledge, I kind of have to learn the people all on my own. And in this, I have found that there are 4 parts to the artist career that will help each and every one of you survive no matter what obstacles you face. Those 4 parts are, of course, passion, your practice, your people, and of course, being paid. Now, many of you want to skip to being paid, but as I will keep on repeating, that's how you burn out. And this speech is all about how to not burn out in your creative career. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome, the specter in the room, feeling like you can't do it. Many years ago, I worked in retail, as I'm sure you've all had the displeasure of doing, and I did the 11 to 7 shift at the Atlantic Superstore. That is 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And not once, while I was holding a mop at 4 in the morning, did I ever think, wow, I really shouldn't be here. What am I doing here? You know, who do I think I am mopping this floor? No, not once while I was unpacking endless candles or folding the 100th towel and putting it on the shelf did that tiny voice in my head speak to me and say, yeah, I don't think, you should be here. It's so odd how we normalize these retail experiences as something we need to do to survive, something we need to do to endure society. It seems to me that we only feel imposter syndrome when we start to walk in our dreams. And so I suggest to you all that perhaps imposter syndrome isn't a signal of where you shouldn't be, but a confirmation of where you need to be in order to change the world. That when you feel like an imposter, you are growing into the person who can create positive change in the world based off your dreams. And I do hope you have dreams, because that leads into passion. Passion to me is just the perfect blend of hope and curiosity. You hope things will be better, and you have the courage to explore the unknown and walk forward. Now, everyone likes to talk about passion, and they don't like to say where passion comes from. I'm here to help you with that. Problems. Problems are where you get your passion from. And some of y'all have a whole lot of problems you want to create against, and you get all kinds of opportunities that cause nothing but headaches and too many deadlines. So I'm here to say, pick one problem. Because karma is real. And the energy you put out are the opportunities you get back. So I need you to think of one problem that gets you up in the middle of the night and you're just frustrated with, whether it be housing, domestic violence, equity, diversity, history, any of those problems, and just wrap your heart around it. And through doing that, I promise you, you will receive all the opportunities just based on that. Karma is real. And that's where the dreams come from. I have a dream. That was intentional. And it stemmed from the problem that when I started 5 years ago, I wanted Black New Brunswick artists to be seen as equal and respected in the New Brunswick art community. That was not happening. That was the problem that kept me up. There are Black New Brunswick artists who are excellent, who don't even hold the title of artist, who don't even hold the title of creative, who just are hobbyists, even though they practice as hard as all of us, even though they work as hard, even though they have as much of a portfolio as us. They don't even get to the fine art or professional artists, none of that. So my dream stemmed from that, and I suggest to you all for passion that you pick one wicked problem to pour your heart into, and so you do not get burnt out. The problem you pick to pour your passion into has to be backed by a practice. And your practice is your discipline. How interesting that it's called discipline for a reason. If you are a photographer, if you are a graphic designer, and you are thinking about the problems in society today, Every waking moment should be spent just thinking how you can continue this conversation through your lens, through your craft. Create something interesting to talk about diversity in all of our workplaces. Create something interesting to talk about capitalism. Because I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but when it comes to practice, I have to say there is no retirement to the artist. Artists, we're kind of like Pokemon. We kind of start out having fun, and then, we evolve, and all of a sudden, we're getting money, and then we evolve again, and now we're teaching and organizing art festivals, and we're wondering what happened to that. I just want to be in the studio and create. So right now, my fellow war turtles, you are in the middle stage, and I want you to know that the work is endless. But as long as you have picked a problem that you can pour your passion into, you will never face burnout because you will always be so happy and excited to contribute something to the world. Now, for me, I learned the lesson of work is endless as a writer off my problem of Black New Brunswick artists weren't being respected or accepted into the New Brunswick art community. My first project 4 years ago, you think it would be writing a book as a spoken word poet and a writer. No, it was republishing the only Black New Brunswick history book in New Brunswick that is 50 years old. You see, my problem is so wicked, I can't even talk about Black New Brunswick artists. I have to start all the way back here to discuss Black New Brunswickers. When someone asks me where I'm from, I say I'm a 7th generation Black Canadian. I'm from Fredericton. 200 years ago. That's where I'm from, right here. But nobody knows that. They think that my family just got here within 80 years. So I have to start my conversation. I have to address my problem where it starts with the community. And so I just think all of you should think of your practice as spiritual nourishment. Because when I had to do that book, and then I had to come out with the memoir, and now I have this lovely Canada Council project talking about 15 Black New Brunswick families. I still have yet to say anything about Black artists. I still am not there yet. Constantly doing these wonderful projects, and I'm not even close to starting the conversation that I want to help change. So please, when you're thinking of your practice, alumni, view it as a shower for your soul, as spiritual nourishment. And don't think that you always have to create something that you have to take the picture, or you have to create the ceramics, or you have to get into the shop and bend the metal. Just thinking about how you could use your skills to help better the world counts as the reps to grow yourself as an artist. Just that. And now, my favorite one, and I'm gonna try and keep this short. The National Endowment of the Arts worked for 5 years to map out the entire art system to figure out how art works. They came out with 2 core things that art needs to work across history, across geographics. 1, us. Artists have to create. If artists don't create, all of this collapses. So we are the most important part. But second to that, audiences have to participate. Participation is key. No one knows there's a cave painting if no one goes into the cave. Does anyone hear the tree fall in the forest if they're not there? I say to you, who would even know there's a forest if they've never even been there? So when it takes a village, and when you are thinking about growing your practices and your passions, you need to build your crew. And it's on you. The responsibility is on each and every one of you to go learn who is in your creative village. You have to go to the gallery openings. You have to walk into the museums. You have to send the emails and attend the festivals. And you need to build a group of people, because this is one of the most dangerous lessons I tell you. Your dreams are going to grow to a point where your backs can't carry them alone, and you are going to need friends to help you push the conversations on these wicked problems. Do you think in my Still Here project that I was interviewing the 15 families for their history? No. That was Dr. Mary McCarthy, Louise Brent. Do you think I was photographing and capturing the 15 families at their homes all over New Brunswick? No, that was my friend Gary Weeks. Do you think I was even managing $55,000 from Canada Council. When I got that, I got gray in my beard. It was so crazy. No, that was my friend Jeannie Rediker, who has been working in a bank for 10 years, and I said, please, friend, take care of this. If I did not have excellent people with me who I could build with and who I could play with, I would not be able to continue my passion on the problems or practice. So please build the people around you that you can share a meal and a mission. Small rant on people, because social is so important to me. If you have people that are only there to build, what happens when someone gets sick in your family, when you need to take a mental health day, when all they're worried about is reputation and status? The people that only build disappear. The people that play, if all they do is play, and when you ask them to come help you out on a project, and all of a sudden they show up late or they overpromise, and they're starting to judge and victimize you for your dreams. I say to you both, you need both. People that can build and people that can play, because either on its own is poison for your dreams. You need people that both love you and can work with you. And now, the final part that everyone loves, paid. How do you get paid? I'm gonna do a little something here. I need you to repeat after me. Is there a budget for the artists? Is there a budget for the artists? Is the only sentence you need anytime someone jumps in your emails, starts asking you if you want to auction off your artwork, starts saying, oh, we could just use your receipts. Check them. Check them right there and say, is there a budget for the artists? And if they have the gall to suggest exposure, you go straight to Carfax. Yeah, come on, that's right. Yeah. Carfax says any work under 4 hours is $500, and you can negotiate from there. That's the minimum fee. So come on now, you are alumni. All right, now, the value. Since you have your passion, you have your practice, you have your people, value for you is going to be a little different. I heard a lot of talk today about what can we do, where do we go from now, and fortunately for you all, I have the answer for that. If you want to go anywhere in this industry, you actually have to go somewhere. Travel. Travel as an artist is the most important thing to your creative career. I tell you now that all these lessons I learned was because I was volunteering for the New Brunswick Black Artists Alliance, and I had to learn all these things through grit and grime, and I would not wish those days of an early nonprofit board governance on any of you. So here is how you get everything I got for the low, low price of airfare. I want you all to find international festivals in Canada and volunteer there. If you want to triple your value instantly, go to Toronto. Go to the Toronto International Film Festival. What do I have written down? One-of-a-kind show, a biannual craft show that's an international show in Toronto, metalworking, ceramics, everything. Help them set up chairs. Listen to the board members talk about how they organize it. I promise you, if you work at 3 international festivals volunteering and come back, your resume will be bulletproof. No one will be able to talk to you about exposure. You'll be able to walk onto any board in Atlantic Canada and know exactly what to do to add value, and it'll just totally bring trust and respect to you in a way you can't imagine. You really have to give back to the creative community. And I don't know if you know this, but as alumni of the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design, you are already pre-approved for a profile on the Canada Council for the Arts, NECA. That's new and early career artists. Professional development grants, $10,000 to pay for you to go wherever you want to volunteer, so you can get money too. Now, yeah, small aside. Artist for 5 years. I've been a national judge at Canada Council more times than I've been an artist, so I don't know how any of this happens for me, but good people, passion, I keep my practice up. I will just end by saying that artists, you deserve excellence. Because as creatives, my definition of an artist is that we are people who share deeply. And so that means based off what we are feeling, that is what we create. So I want all of you to feel loved, to feel courageous, to feel excited about what you're going to do. Because when you are practicing your passion on society's most wicked problems, the things that you create helps make the world great. Thank you.